So far, in this series, we've learned how the outbound email process works in a properly functioning instance. We also learned some ways to troubleshoot when coming across different situations related to the outbound email process. In this video, we're going to cover how to troubleshoot an instance that appears to be sending out duplicate email notifications. Here are some common causes of duplicate email notifications where the system is performing as designed but with unintended results. A business rule contains current.update, which results in recursive updates to the record. A workflow updates a table, which triggers the business rules to run again. More than one inbound action updates the same record, triggering the notification for each update. And separate notifications have the same content and thus send out the same messages for a single update. And here are the troubleshooting steps to take when your instance sends out duplicate notifications. Determine which notification created the emails. Check the notification's send-when value. Confirm that the number of events in the sysEvent table matches the number of notifications sent. Check the record's history to find out what values were updated and when. And find out what updated the record multiple times. Let's walk through these steps with a scenario. We've added some business rules to our instance to meet the needs of our various business units in different countries, and now we're getting reports of duplicate email notifications. So the first thing we do is determine which notification created the emails, and we do that by looking at the email log. Here are the duplicates, created at the same time for the same recipient with the same subject. What caused these two emails to be created? Before we go any further, let's make sure we're in default view before moving forward with our troubleshooting. We can see here that we're in Sent view. So let's change it to the default view by clicking on the context menu or right-clicking on the header and selecting View Default View. And there we go. Now let's take a look at the email record. Here's the incident number, and here's the notification for this message, Incident Commented for ITIL. Now let's check the other email record in the system logs. It's the same notification, Incident Commented for ITIL. In the event that you're unable to see the notification in the default view, you can always refer to the headers and pull the sysID from here. Just copy the sysID where it shows the ServiceNow source notification. You can then go to the notifications table and run a search for conditions active is true and sysID is, and paste the sysID that you just copied. We can then see the notification that generated the email. But in this case, we can see the notification already identified in the email record, so let's click from here to see what's triggering it. We'll expand to the advanced view for this step. Here it is. We can tell which trigger is used by looking at the Send When field in the notification. This notification is sent only when a record is updated on the incident table. The other option would be to send a notification when a specific event is fired. And if that were the case, the event is named here. Let's leave this the way it was and move on to the next troubleshooting step, which is to confirm that the number of events in the sysEvent table matches the number of notifications sent. To do that, we go to the sysEvent table and filter the list to display the notification events related to our duplicates. Since the incident commented notification is triggered when the record is updated, we filter the list this way. Name is notificationengine.process. For the instance condition, we need to get the sysID of the record whose update generated multiple notifications. In our case, it was this incident, so we just copy and paste it. And finally, for PARM1, we want the notification sysID. In this case, it's for the Incident Comments for ITIL notification, so we navigate to that notification record and copy and paste the sysID for that record. If our send-when value had been event is fired, we would have applied these filters instead. Name is event.name and instance is the sysID, which we would have copied from the incident record. Going back to our scenario, now when we run this, we get two events which cause two emails to be sent. What created these two events? To find out, we check the record's history, which will tell us what values were updated and when. We access the history by opening the incident record and selecting History, Calendar from the context menu. This shows us exactly what happened in this record. We can see that there are two updates at the same time, which created our duplicate events. When we expand these updates, we can find their root cause. The Additional Comments field was updated twice by the same received email. In this case, the inbound email updated the incident twice, so we'll look at inbound email actions. But in other cases, depending on what you discover in the previous troubleshooting steps, you might look at UI actions, workflows, business rules, or anything else in the platform that might have caused the duplicate updates to the record. A suggested investigative strategy is to navigate to System Diagnostics, Session Debug, Enable All, and then try to replicate the condition that caused the duplicate updates seen in the history. But our strategy is to look at the record of that received email. Down here in the email log, we see that two inbound email actions were processed for this incident. Update Incident BP Sister Company and Update Incident BP. The duplicate updates on the incident resulted from both of these inbound email actions being processed. Our next step would be to review and adjust our inbound email actions so that only one processes against the record. This will prevent duplicate updates and emails. For more information, please consult our product documentation, knowledge base, or podcast, or ask a question in the ServiceNow community.